The Andhra Assembly has witnessed a stormy session after the TDP MLA surrounded the Speaker on the podium of the House. The uproar was over TDP Chief and former Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu's arrest in the alleged skill development scam. Now, holding placards, the MLAs raised slogans against CM Jagan Mohan Reddy and even broke a glass on the Speaker's table. Now, before adjourning the session for the day, the Speaker barred 3 members, including 2 TDP and 1 YSR Congress member, for the entirety of this particular session. Meanwhile, Naidu's son, Nara Lokesh, made sensational allegations of sinister intentions behind his father's imprisonment as well. Nara Lokesh went on to say that another prisoner at the Rajamundry jail has died of dengue and questioned if Chief Minister Jagan plans to do the same with Chandrababu Naidu. The Andhra High Court, meanwhile, has adjourned Naidu's petition to quash the FIR against him to the 25th of September. Let's first listen into some of these reactions that are coming in.
మేము అది అట్లా కాదు, మేము ముందు మా నాయకుడు జైలు ఎందుకు పెట్టారు దానికి వాళ్ళు బేషరతుగా క్షమాపణ చెప్పాలి, డెమోక్రసీని కాపాడండి అని అన్నాం. దానికి ఆయన స్పందించలేదు. మేము స్లోగన్స్ ఇచ్చాము అక్కడ. దాని తర్వాత మార్షల్స్ పిలిపించి 100 మంది మార్షల్స్ పిలిపించి ఏదో పెద్ద మేముంది 23 మంది.
With us now to discuss more about this, Mr. Abbaya Chowdary, YSRCP MLA. We also have C. Kutumba Rao. He's the ex-Vice Chancellor, Andhra Pradesh State Planning Board and TDP spokesperson as well. Let me take this across to first Mr. Rao. Rao, how do you really view this? Because there is, of course, an issue. Your leader has been arrested. It's been quite a number of days. But do you feel that protests, especially the way that we looked at today, breaking glass on the speakers, near the speaker's chair there, is this something that's warranted?
You have to recollect the events that have happened in the last few days, Deepak, because the whole case is a sham one. It's a totally false case. A false case in which the government tries to conduct a kangaroo court by sending its additional Advocate General and additional DGP across cities right up to Delhi, including Hyderabad and other places also, to conduct press meets and everything. Do you think that there is no democracy in this country? And a trial by media is to be done by the investigating officer and the prosecution lawyers by conducting such press meets, where the case diary and the important documents which come under section 172, which could be revealed only in the court to justify their case, these people flaunt by showing PPTs and others in other cities also, purely to mislead people, purely to prejudice the decision making of the judicial authorities, and justify themselves of their false arrest of Sri Chandrababu Naidu. Here I am telling you, the last few days, the way the people have reacted across the state and across different states, in fact in Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and other states also, and in 35 countries, people have been protesting because everybody knows Mr. Naidu has been a visionary, and even today he is a visionary. And because of his vision, we have seen what Hyderabad has become today as one of the IT capitals of the country. Because purely Mr. Jagan Mohan Reddy is mired in more than 24 cases of corruption, that too not from small institutions. It's from CBI, it's from Enforcement Directorate, and he has been avoiding courts by filing stays and writs, staying outside, and just because he is facing so many dozens of corruption charges in courts, that too from CBI and Enforcement Directorate, he wants to portray every other politician, opposition politician, as a corrupt politician. What is this logic? What is this psychophancy? What is this behavior? Is it condonable in a country of democracy? Because I am telling you, this case...
Now, Mr. Rao, nobody's taking away your right to protest. Now, also you have, of course, the options of the courts that you can approach if you think that injustice has been done here, and you have already approached the courts. The two primary questions that come up here is, one is about the type of protests that were witnessed in the assembly. The other, of course, is the kind of allegations that are surfacing that, well, that there's a person who has died of illness in the prison, and Now, should he be treated differently because he was a former chief minister? That's another question. Before I come back to you in a response to
Just
that, I want
one-
to also bring in Mr. Abaya Chowdary.
No, just
Mr.
Deepak,
Chowdary,
just give me just
how do you
30
really,
seconds.
what do you have
Just
to
30
firstly say
seconds,
about
Deepak.
these allegations that have come in?
Just 30
Hi,
seconds.
Hold on, I'll
Deepak.
come back to you. I'll come back to you. I'll bring in Mr. Chowdary. I'll come back to you.
Let me explain.
I'll come back to you. Mr. Chowdary, firstly, what do you make of the allegations that have come to the fore right now?
Yeah, Deepak, one thing that Mr. Kutumbarao or everybody in the state has to understand, there is no political vendetta here. It's a pure judicial judgment. Chandrababu Naidu was sent to remand by judiciary. And one thing they need to be very clear, today whatever happened in assembly, I was in the assembly, I was sitting in there, and whatever the behavior of the Telugu Desam Party MLAs was terrible. TDP was trying to divert the public attention. They deliberately disturbed the proceedings today. The honorable speaker's podium with placards and misbehaved with him by throwing paper cuttings, broke his mic, tried to broke his glass. I mean, they're very, very desperate to hold the assembly. What I was saying is, this all happened because of the dubious MOU that they have signed with Siemens, and absolutely there's a clear-cut evidence that judiciary has identified. It's not Jagan Mohan Reddy or YSR Congress Party that sent Chandrababu Naidu to remand. It is judiciary. If they have to fight, they have to go and fight at the judiciary. And they can give whatever stance that Mr. Kutumbarao was trying to talk here. Let them give their explanation in the judiciary, and let the judiciary decide what the next steps are.
Mr. Abbaya Chowdary, but what the charge from them is pretty clear that this was vendetta. This was just targeting him, and there is no truth to this particular case. Its entire case is he's just being fixed in this particular matter is the charge. Well, how do you respond to that?
Deepak, if we want to do a political vendetta, we won't do it after 4.5 years after we form the government. We would have done it in the year one itself. But this is not a political vendetta. There is a dubious MOU that was signed during Babu's tenure. They have signed an MOU with Siemens, and then it's completely dubious. The GO that they have released, where they said there is a 90% is granted aid by Siemens and 10% will be paid by the state government. And that is what is mentioned in GO. When they came to MOU, they completely removed the 90% grant in aid part, and they only added whatever they wanted. And they they created an MOU with Siemens and also with another company, the company called Design Tech. And it's not us who flagged this entire issue. It was income tax officials. It was who has, when they did the raids in Pune, they have identified that there is a company called Design Tech who has not paid their VAT returns, and they have identified that this entire thing. Let me give you one thing. After the funds were sent from AP government to a company called Design Tech, which is 371 crores, the Design Tech is then responsible along with Siemens to deliver software and hardware to Andhra Pradesh. But what they did is only certain part of the amount was sent to Siemens, and the remaining amount, after the money was sent to Design Tech, 1 month after that, they created a shell company called PVSP Shell, and they transferred 241 crores. And then there is several shell companies were created underneath it. It's the VAT, GST officials and the income tax officials that sent an email on 2017 and 2018 to APCID flagging this issue. So this is nothing been flagged by us. And there is a clear connect from shell companies that the money has been hawala transfer done to Chandrababu Naidu PA. I think that's all the case is. I mean, if
Mr. Rao,
all of we were trying to say
Mr. Rao, Mr. Chowdary says there's nothing vendetta about this. He's presenting facts. He's saying that this is a matter that was being thoroughly investigated. There was no reason to carry out the kind of protest that was witnessed in the assembly.
No, I'll tell you, Deepak, this whole bundle of lies which the MLA is saying is being canvassed by the government and by the YSRCP party across the country by conducting press meets. And I'll tell you, after the filing of the case, who have come into the press and explained the whole issue? Suman Bose, Siemens Industry Software India Private Limited MD, he himself has clarified. And Vikas Kanvalkar, the Design Tech MD, has himself clarified. And
Mr. Kutumbarao, you need to understand.
I have not intervened when you have talked. Please keep quiet. I have not intervened when you have talked. Just give me a chance to explain.
Okay.
This whole issue
let
is
Mr. Rao complete.
This whole issue is an GST case, which the government is trying to morph it into a corruption case. This is a GST case. I'll give you one simple example, Deepak. If government of India, Modi's government gives out an order to some department and that department gives order to a vendor and the vendor evades taxes, who is responsible? Is Narendra Modi responsible or his government is responsible? The person who has evaded the taxes, he will be definitely controlled by the GST prosecution people and GST regulatory authorities. Here the GST authorities are investigating, ED is investigating. There is no trail of money to either Telugu Desam Party or Chandrababu Naidu, except for casual statements being made by CBCID at the remand court. Except that there is no proof, not an iota of 0.0001% proof also. And why I'm saying this is political vendetta is I'm telling you, they knew if they did not keep section 409, they need to give notices of 41A under Rajesh Kumar judgment. If they keep 409, which is public breach by an...
I'm really short of time, Mr. Rao. I'll have to cut you short, unfortunately.
This is a whole conspiracy.
Also, Mr. Chowdary, both of course have two sides to present. The judiciary is there to judge. The judiciary is there to judge this matter. Now, while there is, of course, charges and counter charges being leveled, let's also ensure that, elected representatives do what they're elected to do in the assemblies. And also there is a way to protest. There's a way to put your point forth. And not like the scenes that we probably witnessed earlier in the day. Let's hope that better sense prevails. And as far as justice in this particular matter, let's, of course, look at how the courts deal with the matter. I thank both the gentlemen who've been very patient and joined us on this broadcast. And I'll have to thank both of you, and we are slipping into a quick break on that note. News and updates continue on the other side. Don't go anywhere.